We are going to go to Knoxville right now. Georgia at Tennessee. Georgia is favored by 3.5 on the road, and this is a fascinating game. This is a fascinating game because Tennessee kind of left for dead in the offseason because they lost Nico, they lost all this, but they've played really well the first 2 weeks. Georgia, meanwhile, if you look at the Dogs HQ message board, lots of critiques of offensive coordinator Mike Bobo, lots of critiques of quarterback Gunnar Stockton. Ari, is this the time Tennessee breaks through against the Bulldogs for the first time since the Dobnail boot game?
You know, before we started the show, I thought the spread of this game was 7, and I oversold how froggy I was going to be.
Oh boy,
game. I'm picking Tennessee to win the game, not just the points.
Are you going to take the money line? You're going to go money line, or do you want the points?
Well, before I go money line, I want to know, because we haven't set this in stone. Do I get extra points if I win a money line bet? How does that work?
I think we should each get. I think we should each get a half or something, because like I picked Miami money line against Notre Dame, so I want credit for that too.
So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to bet Tennessee to win, and I get 1.5 points towards in my record, which maybe could get confusing. I don't know. You and I can just keep track. You and I can just keep track of how many money lines that we've picked and won with. So okay. I've only got the one. I have the Notre Dame Miami game. I picked Miami money line, and that game I asked you. It still counts as a loss in my loss column.
No, because you picked the money line. Yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying. If Georgia wins by 3, I don't get the credit for Tennessee covering the spreads. What I'm saying.
I got you. Okay, no, okay. If you pick an underdog money line and hit, then no picking favorites on the money line. Like that's
right.
A cop
it's only underdog,
yeah.
And I thought that they were a bigger underdog. Did the line move? I thought it opened at 6 or 5.5. People must be thinking what I'm thinking. So, but like picking an underdog that's a 3.5 point dog to win outright isn't as juicy as if they're a 7-point dog. So I apologize for hyping it up, but I think that I'm buying Tennessee stock and I'm selling Georgia stock. In terms
this was Georgia -7 yesterday. So okay. Sunday afternoon, this was Georgia -7. It is now Georgia -3.5. And I believe the Tennessee money line is plus 135. Is that right, Producer River? So plus 135 on the Tennessee money line. A lot of people had the same idea you did. They looked at this thing and said, that is way too many points. Way too many points.
Yeah. I don't think that Georgia, after what we've seen this year, is in a position to be giving anyone a touchdown.
Ari. So Jermod McCoy probably not coming back for this game. That's Tennessee's best corner. They've also got another cornerback injured. The hope was initially when so McCoy got hurt, I believe in January. The hope was he'd be able to get back for this game. He's not quite ready, it seems. So that's a tough loss for Tennessee because they were hoping that they'd have him back for this. But I don't know, does that make a difference? Because we've seen Gunnar Stockton kind of struggle, and I saw like the Georgia folks, and Kirby Smart said this after the game. He said, I want to see the Gunnar Stockton that I see in practice in the games because I'm not seeing the same person right now. And that's not what I want to hear from the head coach.
Well, I don't get to see Gunnar Stockton in practice. I've seen Gunnar Stockton in the games, and I don't think that he's bad, but I don't think he's a lightning rod. I think that he's kind of just existing right now. And when you go play in Knoxville, unfortunately, I've never been, but I know what it's like. I've seen it on TV. I felt the Alabama-Tennessee crowd a few years ago when they won that game through my television speakers. I've never in my entire life been more remorseful for missing an event than when they beat Alabama for the first time under Heupel.
That was a crazy. I wasn't at that one, but I've been at I've been at a game where the stadium completely shook. I was at the '98 Florida game in Neand Stadium, and when Collins Cooper missed the field goal in overtime, it felt like an earthquake. And that is Tennessee when it gets going, and it is one of the toughest places to play. Now, the Georgia defense has been the kryptonite for this Josh Heupel offense. And actually, up until that Ole Miss Georgia game we saw, had been the kryptonite for this offense in general. Remember, this is the old Baylor veer and shoot. But we were at that Ole Miss game where the offense worked fine against Georgia. So what that seems to mean is if you can beat them in the trenches or you can compete with them in the trenches, that offense is not – it's not that defense just destroys that offense or just shuts down that offense. Academy Sports and Outdoors, huddle up football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets SEC fans ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find grills, jerseys, and more. Fun can't lose, and neither can you with tailgate gear from Academy. Academy Sports and Outdoors is the official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the SEC. So if you are going to, I don't know, Georgia, Tennessee in Knoxville, if you are going to Arkansas, Ole Miss in Oxford, if you are going to Florida, LSU in Baton Rouge, Vandy, South Carolina, in Columbia, go to Academy Sports and Outdoors first and get yourself completely ready to tailgate. So
I think that like my thought process is I think Georgia could win the SEC, and it's still a very good team. And I'm never going to disrespect Kirby Smart or what he's built there. But I think that we as a community in college football have just crowned Georgia the SEC favorite because of the trajectory they were on 2 years ago. And the sport has changed, and they have changed with it to a certain extent, where the reason why Georgia's defense was kryptonite to Tennessee's offense is because it was kryptonite to everybody they played. They kicked the crap out of everybody.
Because they just had better players. Yes.
Like, I don't know how much I can take from like the Hendon Hooker game and be like, oh, that's going to be applied to this. You know, that's
no, it's not schematic. That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
When Ole Miss played them last year in Oxford, running the same offense essentially,
went great. Yeah,
it went great because the personnel were not that far apart. They were, and I think they were very close.
And I don't know, like the one thing that could get me is if David Sanders, the right tackle who's making his first start as a true freshman, has a rough outing like that. Like Joe, I don't know. As fun as it is to prop up Joey Aguilar as the gunslinger who can hit people downfield, he also has a propensity to throw into traffic or make throws.
Yeah, gunslingers are great when they're playing bad teams. Gunslingers are scary when they're playing good defenses.
And if they're playing a good defense, like that's where this could blow up in my face, right? Like I'm putting a lot of faith that Joey Aguilar will be able to hit some throws maybe that Nico wouldn't have been able to downfield or didn't last year. And they'll be able to hit some plays that keep this close and force Georgia to score them. If you outscore them, if you look at the over under of 49.5, like this strikes me as a 28-20 type game, right? If Tennessee can be a team that scores early and puts the pressure on Georgia, I like their chances of being the team that scores 28. I like the under on this too.
So you taking Tennessee money line or Tennessee
money line? I mean, now that it's 3.5, I wanted to do it when it was 7. I wanted to make people.
I am glad you said that because I was going to pick Georgia -7, and now I get to pick Georgia -3.5 because I think this is a classic situation where Tennessee has a couple good games, and we haven't seen them play this early in the season in a while, but Tennessee has a couple good games. We haven't really seen them play anybody yet, and then Kirby reminds everybody who daddy is. So
that's true. Kirby is daddy. Like I don't want anybody to think that I've lost sight of that. But here's the other thing. And it was really late at night. You know, Saturday's a really long day for us. Like we're ball and writing, and you had a Billy Napier column. I was cranking out big stories on Illinois. It wasn't the same type of day for both of us, but we're up late. And by the time we start doing our show, like you're fried a little bit. I don't want to lose track of the opinion that I have. And it's in a column that I wrote on 3 Monday morning, which is if the Big 12 is, or if the SEC shares something in common with the Big 12 and that teams that we don't think can win every game. How does that manifest? Where does that manifest? That manifests in games like this, where Georgia isn't just going to go in and win every game against in tough environments. Gunnar Stockton's first road game, they're just going to go and beat Tennessee in that environment because they're Georgia. Like, if that's still the case, then Georgia has a chance to win the national title this year, and I assume that they do. But if you believe what I said and you agree with the take that the SEC is going to be kind of sloppy this year, that it's going to be a bloodbath, then this is where you pick. Those are the spots you pick, right? You don't. Everybody just assumes Georgia's going to win. You're assuming Georgia's going to win, but like, we're not doing that this year. I'm not doing it this year. So, yeah, I'm going to take Tennessee, and I'll either look kind of smart or I'll look like an idiot. I don't know. It happens. But Tennessee, the second this game was on the schedule, I knew I was going to take them with the points. I knew 7 was a lot, and like now the spread's 3.5 for a reason, man. Like, listen to it.
I'm just happy I get to take Georgia 3.5 instead of Georgia 7.
I guarantee Georgia minus 3.5 is going to be the biggest public play of the weekend, because that's how people bet, and that's not how you.
We'll have to call our guy John Ewing and find out. It's going to be very, very fun. This game's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see Neand Stadium for this game. It's going to rule.
Like, do you hate my premise, or do you kind of see where I'm going with it at least? Like, are you like?
Oh, I know exactly where you're going with this. Okay. No, I don't think you're insane at all. I think we've staked out opposite sides for kind of similar reasons. Like, we both have logical reasons why we've staked out the side we've staked out. And I get, like, you can convince me of your point. And I think I could probably make a rational argument where you'd say, I see why you're picking Georgia.
Yeah, if Georgia's defensive players just throw people around and they're Georgia's D. Like,
yeah.
I'm never going to come into a post-game podcast.
It's going to be a slog. They're just going to lock them down and boa constrictor them. Yeah, that's what I'm suspecting happens. I could be wrong.
I promise you, Andy. On Saturday night when we're together talking about the games, I'm not going to, in Georgia, if Georgia wins, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, how did Georgia win? Like, you know,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be stunned if Tennessee wins either. But
yeah,
I'm happy that we don't know what's going to happen in this game, because for the longest time, we knew exactly what would happen in this game.
I love that the television window's at 3:30, man. Right at the right time. That's when SEC football's played.
Yeah, they trained you to do that for 20 years. Trained us to watch those for 20 years. ESPN, you don't have to mess it up. Like, you don't need to move those games to 7:30 now.
It's the perfect time slot for me. I think it's the perfect time slot for a big game. I know people love night games, and I know that tailgating for an extra 3 hours while watching the other games is fun. I'm not saying that night games aren't great, but the fourth quarter is dark outside game is the best, because it becomes dark. You get the night game atmosphere when it matters the most.
That's right.